Life of Love. Once upon a time, there were two kings living in a well-known city in Babylon. They became best friends when they were little, and one of their hobbies is to explore things and places. However, everything may seem the same, but for them, they also have their differences. Pygmalion dislikes women, while Pyramus too. Pyramus has a secret relationship with Thisbe, a simple girl living her simple life in the queen of Semiramis. Pygmalion doesn't like when Pyramus talks about his relationship with Thisbe. He became aggressive when they will be talking about girls because he doesn't want to commit himself to a woman because, according to him, his artworks are more than enough. That time when Pyramus was sharing how intimate his relationship towards Thisbe was, Pygmalion got angry and smashed the table. Pyramus got mad and walks away. Pygmalion, on the other hand, went home and go to his secret room. There he was mesmerized how beautiful his piece was. He made a statue that for him nothing was made just like what he just made. That is one of the secret Pygmalion wasn't able to tell Pyramus. He doesn't want Pyramus to know because he might be accused as a crazy person who dislikes women, however tend to make an artwork that looks like a woman. Pyramus, on the other hand, went to Semiramis to see his beloved lover. Unfortunately, when he got there, he was forbid by the parents of Thisbe to see her because they doesn't like him for Thisbe. However, because of their love for each other, they decided to slip away and go to Pyramus' place. When darkness came, they escaped from the city and went to Babylon. Pygmalion was so busy chopping the woods when Pyramus came. Pyramus was begging to let Thisbe live in their place for a while he's looking for a place for them to start a new life. However, Pygmalion became angry and told Pyramus that women are not worth to love because they are just choosing boys in order for them to live. Pyramus became angry and punched Pygmalion and said that he regretted that he knows such a person like him and left. Pygmalion was left alone. However, he did not regret what he said to Pyramus because that is really the truth why he dislikes women. When he went inside and looked at his artwork, he was so amazed and continued polishing it until he was satisfied by the result. The result was so amusing. It was so beautiful and mesmerizing. Pygmalion fell in love with it and couldn't take it away from him. He became more intimate to the statue. He imagines that the statue that he has is a real woman who is so much in love with him. However, as time passes by, he then realizes that everything is not usual. The statue will always be a statue. He won't be able to get a response since it's just a statue, until he decided to stop. Pyramus and Thisbe, on the other hand, looked for a place where they could start a new life together. While looking, Thisbe got hungry and asked Pyramus if he could spare food for her, but unfortunately, Pyramus doesn't have any, so he decided to look for a food and asked Thisbe to wait for him for a while, for he will just look for a food for them to eat. While waiting, Thisbe sensed something. She noticed that the plants and grass are waving as if there is something behind those. However, she remained calm and waited for Pyramus. Hours later, Thisbe cannot wait for Pyramus. That is why she decided to follow Pyramus and wear her favorite cloth. As she walked, she saw a mulberry tree with snow-white berries, and she decided to rest for a while. And all of a sudden, she saw a lioness walking towards her with a bloodshot. But before the lioness came closer to her, Thisbe ran away and she dropped the cloak. Right after that, the lioness sat upon it on her way back, and she mounted and soared before disappearing to the woods. Right after then, that was Pyramus saw when he passed the mulberry tree. He ran towards where the cloak is, and clear in the dust were the track of the lioness, and he never doubted that he knew all. He concluded that Thisbe was dead. He blamed himself for making his love buried all alone to a place full of danger, and not had been there to protect her. He blamed himself for the death of Thisbe. He cannot accept the death of his loved ones, so he drew his sword and killed himself. Moreover, Thisbe was still terrified of the lioness, but she is more afraid to fail her love, so she decided to go back, trying to look for Pyramus, but then she saw that Pyramus was covered by his own blood, and she cannot accept the fact that Pyramus take his own life, so she did the same thing. She killed herself. Pygmalion received the news and couldn't accept it also. He regrets his decision for not letting Pyramus and Thisbe live in his place for a while. However, he has nothing to do with it but to accept it. He chose to continue his life without his best friend. One night, when the feast of Venus, he came and joined the people celebrating the feast. Venus showed up herself to the people and saw Pygmalion. Pygmalion was hoping that Venus could do something to the statue that he made, so minutes later the statue was starting moving, and Pygmalion was starting to kiss her passionately. Venus herself graced their marriage with her presence, and Pygmalion named the maiden Galatea, which is his wife, and their son Paphos, which is the favorite city of Venus. Years later, Pyramus missed his best friend, and he just looked at the sky and thanked Pyramus for all the things he had done and apologized for being too harsh to him. The end.